Good morning! It's Honey Hachiman here to say that his voice is tired. Hello, how are you all? I am doing a recording for a 2.5 on the Memory Rewind. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to the listen to the recording from yesterday, but I still want to express my thoughts and. I think that yesterday we saw a lot more about the world and how it works. Over the course of it, we got to see some of the characters start to show their claws or to break in some way or another. Definitely Leah had a 180 on how she was presented. She as soon as her relationship with Harry was potentially compromised, she went into a frenzy and tried to resort to her powers of hypnotic words to control the situation. I think that we got to see a little more of it was already hinted at that Rose does have some aggressive tendencies under the surface, and we also got to meet Harry. That was interesting because all we had for Harry was we had his profile notes that Olivina had put together. Let's get that finger up. We had anything that Rose had to say about him, and then we had pretty much anything that the other characters at Allison had to say about him. I think that Harry is he's definitely central to the plot. However, the plot seems to be in two different layers. We've got the plot where we've got the detective and Alvina trying to work out the whole Harry affair business, how to what their role is in the whole business takeover, or what people are doing within the company as hired help from the outside. But then there is the larger layer that I didn't really address before because it was kind of minor and seemed more like the protagonist's history or memories. The eyes and the very negative voices, internal monologue that would creep in every once in a while. That became a lot more pronounced with the being. We've had two different encounters where we get to see a conversation with the being, which I feel like the choices there kind of shape what kind of route we are on. I thought that things were kind of mounting towards the end of the story, because it's by the end of the stream we had gotten to where it looked like the protagonist was pushing the boundaries of the world and it was kind of breaking. His conversations with the being kind of lean towards breaking out of an illusion, which kind of like this almost seems like it's a demon or eldritch version of the Matrix, really, that like it really like I think what sealed the deal for me was I mean it's a small thing, but it's very obvious and pointed out is the figure of Leslie the detective um, in the protagonist's bedroom at Anya's house. Now, I think that the being kind of made it um, that the protagonist is like willingly living out a fantasy. So, if by the end of this we get to where the protagonist has done some sort of like recreational VR immersion, what have you, then yeah, I think that would be perfectly believable. We also are seeing a growing disparity that goes with whether the protagonist a is a researcher or a detective. Everything we see is detective, but we see thoughts and memories creeping in of being a researcher. We also got to see a different looking Olivana, and that I think that there are enough hints in there that even in the researcher yeah, we'll call it the researcher world line. It seems like colleagues and stuff had interesting things to say about her. I think that in also some of the scenes where the world is breaking, or that the main character is like left with his intrusive thoughts, there's definitely another voice there, and I think that it's fairly likely that it is researcher world line Olivana or current, because they're like don't do this, don't do it. And then there's Michelle. Michelle and Anya both actually are kind of presented more as they're starting to look more and more as memories rather than people. Like it's heavily hinted that Anya did die some time ago in her factory work, and that once again in the likelihood of living out a fantasy, yeah, Anya's alive and well and accomplishing her dreams. And that especially in that last segment where she kept pivoting unnaturally in what she was saying and what she was doing. Yeah, she doesn't seem real. And the same goes for Michelle. That Michelle, the main character is only remembering her in the sense that it was a relationship that could have been, but also that the only things he can remember are that they that she wanted a relationship, and he turned it away during their high school reunion. I'm assuming like a 5-year reunion after high school, because he's still talking about like at that time, like being a student, probably grad school at that time. That would put him squarely at like 5 years out. But that there's nothing other than that. The same goes for how the protagonist doesn't remember the accident. Back in the very beginning, when talking to the doctor, his last memory is maybe his high school prom. So, like, I'm thinking that, like, his prom and that reunion are probably pretty formative in his memories, or at least, like, what this fantasy is allowing him to remember. Yeah, the accident is still kind of a mystery. Olivina is still kind of a mystery, but I've got some ideas about who she is and what, well, not necessarily who she is, but what kind of role she is playing. Any other characters that really changed how I saw them? I think that Harry was definitely a big one there both in both that he at the same time was as charismatic as he is presented in public, but also how quickly and openly he blackmailed the protagonist in Olivina. But like, I think that it is very cool, and though at the end there, I thought that we were reaching the ending, which we may be reaching an ending, but I'm kind of using the well, none of the Steam achievements are hidden on this one, but based on that, we got through. We were in chapter 3 before we started breaking out, which it looked like some of the options with the being would be to continue the fantasy. So I imagine that we have already broken ourselves from the whole mystery with the Allison Company. I think that we're heading towards something else, but yeah. So we were in the midst of chapter 3, and there are achievements for completing 4 and 5, and then there are multiple endings that are identified as part of what looks like a split in the timeline. So it looks like we're not close to the ending of at least what there is to see in this game. If we are close to an ending, I'm definitely interested in, at the very least, seeing the mystery with the case with Allison and Company, and now it's a cross-examining case, since Harry's kind of blackmailed us into it. So we're investigating both sides, but yeah, I think that there's a good amount still left to see. From a stream logistics standpoint, Honey Hachiman, I'm looking at you. Fingers out. Yeah. Don't do visual novel streams 2 days in a row. Or if you do, keep them shorter. I mean, we had close to 7 hours in 2 days of mostly straight talking, and my throat feels it. So this may be the only thing that I put on YouTube today, because I do want to do some longer streams this weekend, and I am probably not going to do something that is as nonstop talking for 4 hours. I think that if it's not back to back with talking, I think that the 2.5 hours of the 2 to 3 hours of the first one was about the sweet spot, and that I really should listen more to how I'm feeling in the midst of doing it, because I was really starting to feel a bit raspy, probably about midway through yesterday's stream. When I'm listening to it today, chances are I'm going to notice that. But that may only come from being me. That may not be as apparent listening to it. We'll see. But for now, I have been Honey Hachiman, and that is episode 2.5 of I am floating up there. This has been episode 2.5 of just our like in between little voicing of thoughts between episodes of Memory Rewind. So until next time, bye.